A group bent on deposing the president and government of the Gambia is how Usman Top, prosecution serving witness, described Coalition for Change while rounding up his evidence-in-chief in the ongoing treason trial against Dr. Ahmad Scattered Jane and 3 others facing charges of sedition. Ibrahim Jatta was at the High Court Special Criminal Division, and this is his report.
Seventh witness Usman Top finally completed his evidence-in-chief in the current treason trial during proceedings, which saw prosecutors admit a host of CCG email printouts as exhibits. It could be recalled that the defense had opposed a prosecution application to tender a bundle of CCG email messages on the basis that they are inadmissible, but the Special Criminal Court overruled their objections this morning and admitted the documents as evidence. Continuing his testimony before a fully packed courtroom, the 7th prosecution witness Usman Top accused that all CCG members are given the same username and password to log into the Gmail account of the group. Investigators, according to Usman Top, came to know about the members of the CCG such as Ndaitafa Sose, Dr. Amadou Scattered Jane and Matthew K. Jallo through email communications with the first accused person. While presenting some sections of the printed CCG email messages, the witness told the Special Criminal Court that the group's activities and programs were solely meant to remove the president and government unlawfully. Their actions were illegitimate because the only lawful means of removing a government is by elections and not protest, as proposed by the CCG, Top told the Special Criminal Court. Ndaitafa Sose is the Secretary General of the Coalition for Change Gambia and the first accused, Dr. Jane, the group's coordinator, according to Usman Top, who went on to interpret the group's mails and correspondence, the bulk of which were signed and posted by the first accused person. While examining CCG messages indicating the group's logos and symbols, Usman Top said statements like "Jame must go," "freedom," and "end dictatorship now" directly refer to the person of the president and the group's intention to depose the government. Top further underlined the CCG's move to establish an FM radio station in Senegal to broadcast the group's messages and objectives, as he presented a paragraph of the CCG mails highlighting the acquiring of a transmitter. The CCG audio press releases were also meant to be sent to Sud FM radio in Senegal for transmission, according to Usman Top, who told a fully packed courtroom keenly following proceedings that the CCG proposed to hold their protests and demonstrations on Africa Liberation Day, coinciding with the president's birthday. It was ultimately time for the defense to cross-examine the prosecution witness, but lawyer Lamin Camara opted to ask for another date. Sittings will continue on Wednesday, November 16th. In the interim, the Special Criminal Court has also rescheduled the hearing of the motion of application for bail filed by the defense to the same date. Ibrahim Jatta, GRTS.
Well, you are reminded that you can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. We'll be back with more stories outside the Gambia after this break.
Play your favorite song to your callers with the AfriCell Fun Ring service.
To activate the Fun Ring service on your AfriCell line, type FUN and send it by SMS to 139 and have a different fun ring anytime you want.
To set this song as your fun ring, type SET followed by 11261 and send it by SMS to 139.
The code for this song is 11961.
11017 11161 11171.
And don't forget, you can always use the Fun Ring search engine to find your favorite Fun Ring code by typing the name of the song or the performer and send it by SMS to 138.
Keep your callers entertained by playing your favorite music on your AfriCell line.
AfriCell Fun Ring.
Welcome back. Pressure is mounting on Syria's president. Russia has urged dissident groups to talk to Bashar al-Assad's government to seek an end to the crackdown on civilians. Figures released by the United Nations estimate that more than 3,000 pro-democracy demonstrators have been killed by the Syrian forces. CNN's Rima Maktabi reports on recent developments in Damascus.
Zain, really the highlight of news has been this famous statement for the King of Jordan. He told Assad, if I were you, I would have stepped down. This is unprecedented coming from an Arab leader to another. Anyway, this is a wrap-up of all the political developments. The videos smuggled out of Syria chronicle the bloodshed. The UN estimates as many as 3,500 people have been killed and thousands injured as the unrest grinds into an 8th month. International media are largely banned from reporting in Syria, so video like this one leaked over the weekend by Syrian activists remains one of the few ways to glimpse what is happening inside the country, as the government tries to silence dissent against 4 decades of rule by President Bashar Assad's family. But the Syrian government cannot control criticism from outside. In a BBC interview, King Abdullah of Jordan, Syria's neighbor, didn't mince his words.
If Bashar has the interest of his country, he would step down, but he would also create an ability to reach out and start a new phase of Syrian political life.
If President Assad didn't get that hint, the rest of the Arab League hasn't been any friendlier. The League voted over the weekend to suspend Syria from membership. By suspending Syria, the Arab League has opened the door for the international community to impose sanctions. The move was quickly applauded by Western diplomats.
I think it's very good that the Arab League are taking a leading role on this crisis.
Not the view in Damascus, where pro-Assad protesters raided the Saudi, Qatari, French and Turkish embassies. And Syrian Foreign Minister Walid al-Muallim dismissed the Arab League's decision as a conspiracy cooked up by Gulf countries and the US.
The Arab League's decision on suspending Syria's membership and the other provisions it has included constitute a very dangerous step on the present and future joint Arab action and on the goals and role of the Arab League. First of all, I assure you and assure our people that the Libyan scenario will not be repeated.
And just as Walid Muallim was using this televised news conference to promise calm diplomacy and yet another national dialogue, a Syrian activist in Homs told CNN via Skype that the army's crackdown continues in the city.
They shooting people and targeted buildings and innocent people. They don't differentiate between men or women or child.
The EU now has sanctions in place against 74 members of Bashar al-Assad's inner circle. But even with mounting international pressure, a UN Security Council resolution to protect civilians is still to materialize. So who and how will protect the civilians in Syria? This is really the question, Zain.
Hopeless, jobless, penniless. In Spain, thousands of young people are leaving school and entering a world without hope. 45% of young people are out of job, and some of them are even calling themselves the lost generation. CNN's Al Goodman looks at how these young people get by when the economy is in such a bad shape.
Hi, Zain. Well, we're just days ahead of the national elections on Sunday, when Spaniards will go to the polls to vote for a new government, a new parliament, essentially a new prime minister. And as you can imagine, with 21.5% unemployment overall, 45% for young people, the economy is really the only issue. We were just in the historic city of Toledo near Madrid to talk to some of the people who are in this dire situation. Let's have a listen to this report. Juan Jose Carrasa has lots of time to take care of his chickens. He's been unemployed for 2 years, one of nearly 5 million jobless in Spain. 3 fresh eggs help stretch a tight budget for his family. And he says there's another problem, his heart condition, which cost him his last job as a waiter.
Even if you look for a job, it is very hard to find one, because so many people are out of work. The truth is, you don't know where to turn.
He's had to move back to his childhood home, but his wife is also unemployed. In nearly 1.5 million Spanish households,